Uh, last time on Dungeons and WheatTons, who remembers what we did? Because I remember, but I'm still doing that thing where you get uh an inspiration for the
Uh,
session if you remember and do the recap.
let's see. We left Jack at the pumpkin patch. We got to town. We asked Chief about what happened to the guards and why they haven't been making it with the taxes. He said the guards just up and disappeared randomly overnight. Uh, apparently, there was a scuffle between the guard captain and somebody else, and we were investigating the guard shack to find clues. Anybody else remember from there?
I remember the guard shack, and I believe we found
We found
something under
runes,
the bed. Yes, we found runes. There was one in front of the inn and one under the bed in the guard shack.
and we keep finding them in different crayon colors. And we remember that guy was giving away crayons to kids at the inn.
Yes,
That is the same chief, which you never asked his name, which is funny. Usually you ask everybody's name.
Well, shoot, we just went along going with everybody calling him Chief. You right, we didn't ask his name.
I hadn't even given it any thought, but yeah.
But all right, yeah. Uh, since we had two people do it, you get a an inspiration and you can decide who gets it between the two of you.
I give it to Luna. She did the majority of the work.
But all right. You are technically still in the guardhouse, if I remember incorrectly. Uh, you were still snooping around, and you had just found the one underneath the bed.
Right, right. But we don't. But we also remember like this is like used to be some kind of like witch town. So like these runes might have like some kind of base in witchcraft.
I think we were
Yes,
gonna try to find a witch.
yes,
Right, we were trying to find a witch.
you did remember that. Somebody got a good history. Don't remember who.
So yes, we don't know if these are protection or curse runes, so we need to find somebody who does know. So let us do that. But did we need to finish up anything here before we leave?
I don't believe so.
That's all we could discern from this place.
I'm pretty sure we've already investigated everything we can. All right then. Well, where do we go looking for a witch? We can't exactly just go around town saying, "Does anybody practice witchcraft?"
I I don't see why you couldn't.
I don't think there's
I mean,
anything that stops
it's
us.
certainly the direct approach. I was gonna say we could go around looking for like anyone who's learned in the ways of healing or the like.
True, we could do that.
A local wise woman.
Well, you do know that there's a life cleric.
A
Yeah,
life cleric.
yeah.
Maybe they know
You already
something.
heard about that from the guy with the bucket on his head. His friend.
Right.
He's like, I'm gonna take him to the cleric.
Right.
Yeah.
Then let's go to the cleric.
I mean, certainly would be a place to start, although one might argue a cleric is the exact opposite of what we're looking for, but they might know someone who knows the art of witchcraft.
Yeah.
Couldn't hurt.
All right.
Let me off.
Onward.
Onward to the church. Well, as you meander your way around
To the church we go.
the area, give me perception checks, because I would assume you'd be kind of looking around the town, probably scoping things out.
1 second.
And since you probably wouldn't ask to make them on your way there, I'll just say, hey, why don't you do that?
I gotta open my dang character sheet, and it's not. The heck? Why is it not one?
In Canaan, your passive is 18, if I'm remembering correctly, so...
I was actually just about to mention it.
Okay, I was having serious trouble clicking on that book for some reason. That is ridiculous. Anyway, where the heck is it? Oh, here it is. Ba, 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 ba. Sorry, 1 second. Come on.
Laggy?
Yeah, I'm a little laggy today. It's still freshening up.
Is it
Perception.
you or the computer that's laggy?
It's roll 20, I think.
I
There
don't
we
know.
go.
Your mind might be lagging.
Ah, thanks. Love you too, buddy.
But alright, Icto notices a little less than, the others. But that's still not a bad perception. As you're walking around the town, you see that there are those symbols, like the one in front of the tavern, spotted around, and there are certain houses without them. And they seem to be in blue most of the time.
Huh.
A
Guess we should
number
keep
of
note
them
those
have
symbols.
a number of them are in red, but they are of the exact same type that you had previously seen.
But in blue.
Yes. I think I did tell you before that the one that you found in the barracks that was behind one of the bedposts that was in blue was shaped slightly different. Like it had a more of a curve to it instead of angles. I think that's how I put it.
The one under the bed was black.
There was another one that you guys found in the main barracks, not Duval's personal chambers.
Oh, yeah.
What could all these runes mean? And why is it the color difference matter?
Well,
It just gets more and more interesting.
as I said, you did notice the minute differences in the curves or angles based on the color as well.
Well, it doesn't seem to have anything to do with fiends. Otherwise, my religion check the other on the other one would have had advantage. So,
Oh, at least there's that.
But anyway,
I mean, that only rules out one of a myriad of potential things it could be.
but yeah, you notice that there are probably a majority of the houses that do not have any of those symbols on them, at least from where you can tell. Because who knows if you were to like go around them, like the perimeter, and like jump on the roof and stuff, they might have one. But for the most part, as you're going down the street, you notice that they are kind of out of the way, but usually around the same area. So if there were some on the other houses, you would be able to probably find them in that same area. But since you don't see them, you can just assume that there are houses without them. Houses and buildings. But yeah, you walk down the street. Everybody tips their hat to you as you go by. Gives you a hellos and a good afternoons and such. And you make your way to the church. It's a very quaint church. It seems to be of recently built compared to other structures in the village. Possibly within the last, I don't know, just a generic estimate, 5 years or so. And it is surrounded by a metal fence and gate. Ornately carved in the image of the god of life and healing. Would you like to go in, or?
No, we came here to stand outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want to admire it. It's so beautiful. The
Might as well
architecture's
go in.
flawless.
It's quaint.
Yeah, I'll go inside.
I go inside.
Alright, well. As you walk inside, I would like you all to give me, inside the gate, not the...
Initiative.
Initiative.
Not quite. Close.
Close.
Yeah, close. Not quite. I was going to say, it's kind of weird, but I'm going to say survival.
Okay.
We all need to roll a survival? Okay.
Everyone who goes in the gate.
Really?
I mean, you have advantage.
I mean, oh, I do?
I mean, you have the inspiration. And you might have advantage. Who knows? I don't know what all you guys got anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll use the inspiration.
Really?
No. No, I will not.
Hey, let me look at you guys' stuff a little bit. I don't know, maybe there's something that...
Oh, you really did roll initiative.
Commit to the bit.
Commit to the bit.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't think anybody has any advantage stuff. Ikto, you are the closest, because this is kind of on a gradient in a way. As you enter through the gate, the hair on the back of your neck kind of stands up a little bit and then briefly goes back down. Because meaning your survival instinct kind of picked something up a little bit. That's why I went survival.
Okay.
It's a little it's a little stretchy right there.
Yeah. Okay.
But it goes away pretty quickly.
Okay.
How do you proceed?
Proceed a little with caution.
Hey, she's in the shower. Oh, I didn't hear you ask if she was out. Just heard you knocking and yelling. Okay, what?
Enter with caution.
All right.
Keeping it to myself, but being aware of my surroundings.
Well, as you go up the small set of stairs, open the door to the church, you see that the pews are empty, and there's not really that many. You assume that the congregation is kind of small in this town. And as you look in, you see a statue dedicated to the god of life that is perhaps made of copper. It seems to be corroding and turning green in some places.
Oxidizing?
Yes, that. It's the word that I was looking for, but I went for corroding instead.
I mean, they both mean the same thing.
Yeah, but I specifically wanted to say oxidizing, but couldn't come up with it fast enough. I wanted to sound smarter. And you see a man whom you could assume by his robes is the cleric in town, kind of polishing it up to no real effect. How do you proceed?
Alright. I'm just gonna be polite and be like, "Excuse me, sir.
Huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah, yes, yes.
Sorry to disturb you, but we were wondering if we could ask you a couple questions."
Oh, well, I always have time for anyone that's in need of answers.
Well, this might seem a little strange given the context of what we're about to show you, but we were wondering if you could possibly tell us anything about these runes that we've found. Go ahead, show them the runes.
I don't remember which one of us took any.
I believe
Etchings of
Arrakis
it,
was the
but-
one who drew them.
Don't you mean Canaan?
Canaan.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kanan. Wrong game. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say Arrakis won.
Who's
Wrong
that?
game. Sorry. My bad. Kanan was the one who drew it. My bad.
Yes, I did make copies, which I shall hand over to him for examination.
I'm so used to Arrakis.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. I could assume that it's witch-like. Tell me, where have you been seeing these?
around.
We've just been kind of finding them randomly in random places with different colors. Like, do the colors mean anything?
Well, if these are witch related, then yes, the colors usually do mean something.
Do you know
Couldn't.
what?
Oh no, I couldn't tell you what because
Do you?
I don't use that blasphemy. But
Well, do you know where a witch is? Someone who's more useful.
Or someone who might have studied and might know the meanings of these runes.
More useful.
Shut up.
well, this used to be an all witch village, so anyone that has never moved would most likely
Oh, cool. That narrows
know
it
that.
down.
Can you point us to the oldest person in town, perhaps, who's settled here?
Well, that'd be Chief.
Chief? Okay, that's a very great way of narrowing it down. Let's just go right back to him.
Do you know of anybody else, just in case?
Chief's wife?
Yeah, nobody else? Are they just the only one? Like, just anybody who's lived here?
Well, okay, do you want
Wait,
an
while the
entire
witches are here?
list?
I mean, just like you gave me two people,
You
and
asked the
they're ones
oldest
next to
ones.
each other. I'm asking for. She asked the oldest ones.
Alright,
I'm trying really hard not to cuss in your place, man.
alright. The blacksmith,
He's
the,
really restraining.
about 6 of the farmers,
Alright, the blacksmith. The blacksmith. I can work with that. Where is he? Or she? Whoever.
Okay.
I was about to say, you assume?
well, if you go here, and then here, and then here, you'll find it.
Okay, I'm going to assume that you're pointing to a map that you're showing us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there obviously isn't one on screen.
Yeah, I purposefully didn't make a map because you were
I know.
annoying about it.
I know. And I will continue to be annoying about it.
I made other things
pettiness.
instead.
I will be petty.
Alright.
I'll probably have
Okay.
something to look at next time, but that's not the pumpkin patch. But the pumpkin patch makes me happy inside.
It is nice to look at, especially since fall is right around the corner.
But no, he's not actually pointing at a map. He's like, all right, if you go down this street that you came from, take a left at the first turn, go down for another about 100 feet, and then it'll be on the right.
Oh, yay.
First building on the
Alright.
right.
Now you're being useful.
I was not useful for like one question.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Forgive my friend, sir. You've been most helpful. Thank you so much.
Don't mind him. He's just grumpy because he's short.
He's a grumpy guest.
Hey! Oh, I'll explode so many things here.
Let's go.
He was raised by
God
dwarves.
Anyway,
Halfling raised by
fo-
dwarves? Weird.
we follow the path that he pointed us down.
And like he said, the smithy is right there. The
I'll
workshop is outside.
I was gonna,
And there is a storefront. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna ask Icto. Is there a reason you didn't want to go back to the chief, or
You
just
know,
chief, whatever he is?
Yeah, this whole place gives me a funny feeling. Even that place we walked in there, that church, I did not feel
No.
good going in there.
Why?
Yeah, I just got a feeling going up my spine.
It felt normal to me.
Yeah,
Did
well,
you feel anything, Kanan?
I'm generally always suspicious of everything, so I don't know that I felt anything different.
the cannon's on my side.
All right, I'll believe it.
Stella, go.
Hmm.
Give me a Give me a history.
Not bad.
You remember the dream that you had before you even left. That's a deep cut. Bet you didn't even remember that you had a dream before you left.
I do not remember the dream.
I remember calling somebody a twint.
A what?
A twint?
A tw-
You remember the
It's
dream
awesome.
that you had the night before Graham gave you this quest at breakfast. The overwhelming feeling of foreboding and danger with a strange deer skull appearing in the back of your mind. But it just briefly flashes, and you may do with that information what you will.
I just go, on second thought, yeah, let's steer clear of caution. Or let's steer on the path of caution.
Alright. Go.
Alright, where's this blacksmith at? You say he's right outside?
Yes. The blacksmith is
Alright.
working outside.
I shove Victo forward and I'm like, here, this person might speak more your language.
Yeah, I was already going.
Since you're
Here I
so
go.
eager to curse up a storm.
You shut your pie hole.
Never.
Hello, sir.
Hello? Ding!
Hello, sir.
Ding!
You lived here quite a while?
My whole life.
Alright, so, it's... do you happen to be a witch, or do you know one?
Stella goes just like blunt.
He
Very direct.
kind of grips his hammer in his hand. He says, I am? Why?
Oh, you are? Oh, why don't you... Hey, I need your help with something.
He doesn't let go of the hammer, but he says, listening.
I'd show him the markings that get him from Canaan. But, like, do you know what these symbols mean? And the colors and differences?
Well, the blue one is to conceal evil from those it would harm. And the red one is to protect those that can already see evil.
I'm sorry, you cut out for me for like the last 10 seconds. What were those runes again?
The blue one is to conceal evil from those that would be harmed.
Conceal evil. Okay.
And the red one is to protect those that can already see evil. And
What about this black one?
the black one is a general protection spell.
So these were protective runes.
However, the way that this protection one is drawn, it could easily be reversed should it be mirrored.
Mirrored?
Yes, making someone more susceptible to the danger at hand.
Now what if we have this, did we point out the runes that like looked similar but had like different angles or curves? Did we point that out to him?
Well, he noticed it whenever you showed him the blue and red ones.
Okay.
Because all of
Just
the
making
blue
sure.
ones look the same, and all of the red ones look the same, but they are slightly different in the curves and angles, is what I meant by that.
Okay.
So the red ones are
Gotcha.
more angular, and the blue ones are more
Okay.
curved.
Okay. So mirrored, they can do the opposite of what they're supposed to be doing. Now let me ask you a personal question. You got tries to get him closer and down and ask, like, do you trust your chief?
Well, of course.
Do you trust the light cleric dude? Or anybody from them?
Eh, not really.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Oh yeah? What's up with the cleric? Seems a little normal to me. If not jumpy.
Useless.
Well, he doesn't really like, non-godly magic, period.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you
That
came
is
to a
true.
town of witches. You think you'd be a little more open-minded, because that's what they're
I
gonna be.
was
well,
thinking the
he
same
came with the
thing.
prospect of converting us.
Ah, well,
Ah,
yeah,
there we
there's
go.
also that.
I mean, he's kind, I guess, but he's just a little holier than thou.
I got a tingle up my spine and I walked in. About past their gates. Felt off.
Well, I guess he has been a little different the last couple of weeks. He's been less
Okay.
preachy. It used
Well,
to be all life, this, healing, that, yada yada, and
would that be around the time like the guards and captain left?
a little bit before, actually.
Oh. Ah. Oh man. Hate to save. Probably go talk to him more. Fuck.
What? Well,
Well,
okay then.
you've been pretty helpful, sir. Did you know the captain personally or like that?
Well, I am the only smith in town. I repair and
You know what? That makes
make
sense. Yes.
any weapons and armor that they need.
Was he acting strange?
No, not particularly.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for your time.
He kind of gives you one of those two-finger salutes and then begins to hammer again.
I think, as we walk away from the blacksmith, I think we should kidnap the cleric and interrogate him.
I think perhaps that may be a little precipitous.
Alright, okay. So that's my idea. Everybody else? I guess we can go back and just talk to him normally.
Yeah.
Certainly, some discreet inquiries might be a better first resort than committing a crime.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think he'd break real easy.
Mm. What path? What part of steering on the path of caution did you not get?
Well, I've never really gone too much on caution. I always say I am, but
Uh,
So what's the plan?
slap on my forehead.
let's go back and talk to the cleric, or maybe we should look around the building, see if there's
Got to
any symbol.
say, we can have a look around the building without actually talking to the man. Is he still standing outside of his church?
Why don't you, I know this is weird, but why don't you kind of take stock of what you've learned? Like, say it out loud and maybe it'll help you come up with something, kind of thing.
All right. Well, we've learned that for some reason, we still don't even know why the guards left in the first place, really.
Maybe they didn't. Maybe they were eaten by the hidden danger.
Oh, fair
Maybe if we
point.
strip the blue sigils, we'll find out what's going on.
That is true. He did
Oh.
say that they could be possibly accidentally reversed
Purposely reversed.
or purposely reversed. Okay. Well, wait. How can they be reversed? Did we even ask that?
If they were mirrored, he said.
Oh, if they were mirrored, he said. Yes, that's right.
But do
If
you
you reverse the sigil, it reverses its power.
know exactly what he meant by mirrored though? That's the
Do
question.
you mean like actually hold up a mirror to it?
No.
I was about to say, like, was he being literal?
Uh,
Or does he
you
mean
don't
like
know
write
that.
the sigil in another place?
but you can tell by the symbols themselves that they are symmetrical. So if he meant just draw them backwards, that wouldn't work.
What about upside down?
Symmetrical.
Oh, still symmetrical, up, down, all around?
Yep.
No, I think inverting the pattern is what we'd have to do.
Oh. That could be a thing. All right, so if we find any sigils that were reversed, then that would mean that somebody messed with their protection runes.
Kanan, if you wouldn't mind giving me a history real quick. You know what? It happened like 30 minutes ago. I'm going to give you advantage. It was a couple weeks ago in real life, but it was like only
30
about
minutes real time.
30 minutes real time. The way that you found the sigil underneath the captain's bed was a mark on the floor, and you only looked up at the bottom of the bed. You didn't look at the floor underneath you while you were underneath the bed.
Oh,
So what you're saying is place the sigil opposite its same kind of mirror.
oh, literally. So it is kind of like an actual mirror, just not with an actual mirror.
Yeah, because an actual mirror could move.
Right. So somebody had to draw the exact same symbol in the exact same place and line it up perfectly.
Or at least near enough.
Close enough for the magic to get, I guess. Huh.
Which also means that someone deliberately neutralized the protective sigil under the captain's bed.
Eliminating
Potentially
the
relevant.
guards. But what's the purpose of eliminating the guards? I mean, obviously they want to prevent somebody from protecting the people when something happens.
Well, the guards had a blue one.
Which was supposed to protect from people who couldn't see evil?
Conceal evil from those that evil would harm.
Conceal.
Now, you don't really know exactly what that means. That could just mean making the evil invisible,
That's
and they can
what
still
I'm
do stuff
thinking
to them.
too. Like, so it's not even really a protection. It just keeps them from seeing it. But the red one you said is a sigil that did what again?
Protects
Those who can see.
Protects from people who can see. So the red one, it was the real protection sigil, but only if you could see it.
or those who have possibly already seen.
Well, now that's weird. Why have two different sigils like that on purpose? And then the black one in the guard captain's room.
Was generally protective.
Yes. Huh. And the blacksmith is saying that the cleric is trying to convert people away from witchcraft You say you got a bad feeling when we visited him.
Well, he said he stopped being so preachy about it. It was like that before the captain and guards left.
So he stopped being preachy after they left.
No, before.
Oh, before?
Just before.
Said it
Oh,
started
just before. Okay, well, that's still suspicious.
All right.
Well, maybe we should try asking the other farmers that the cleric talked about. Maybe they'll give a piece of information. Maybe
Well,
somebody's seen something happen.
Well, it'd certainly be less dramatic than the alternative.
look, I'm saying it's there. You could kidnap the priest, the cleric.
Eh.
See what he knows.
You're saying we kidnapped a priest?
And
Like,
just
you do
wrap him up
realize
a
who you're
bit and
telling
get
that
some
to, right?
answers. Yes.
You're telling this to a paladin.
Yeah, but do you follow his faith?
I
No,
don't
but
think that matters much.
that's still the principle here.
Look, I got a lot of stuff that just causes a lot of damage,
Oh, God.
and I've only gotten to blow up a door.
All right, well, remind me again. What were the sigils that we kept seeing on the houses? Were they blue? The blue ones?
They were
Well,
blue.
So
and
Some were red.
so some people have blue on their houses, some people have red. Why is there a difference?
Maybe the ones with red are the witches, the ones with blue are the regular people.
Let's pay a visit to a house that has a red sigil and see what happens.
Yeah, I was actually about to say the red ones are for protection against people who have seen whatever. For people who have seen whatever the evil
So let's
is.
see what they have seen and see what they tell us.
Yeah, good idea.
Let's go take a fucking look.
All right. You find the closest. You said you were looking for a house, not just any building?
Any place with a red sigil, yeah.
Okay. You already
Preferably
know
a
about the
house.
tavern. Would you like to go back to the tavern since it's familiar to you, or would you like to
Prefer a
blindside
house, yeah.
somebody?
Let's blindside a house.
Okay, the closest house you find with a red sigil.
And I go up and knock on the door.
And as you open the door, or as they open the door,
I was about to say, I don't open.
you are greeted by a young tiefling woman. And she says, "Yes?"
Hi there. So sorry to disturb you. This may seem like a very strange question, but we're conducting a little bit of an investigation around town, and we were wondering if we could ask you a couple of questions.
Oh, sure.
May we come in so we don't have any prying ears about?
She seems a little bit wary of you since you are kind of strangers that are armed to the teeth.
Pardon me, madam. I'm a paladin. I mean no harm.
Yeah, oh, okay. Please come in. And then she, opens the door and lets you walk in.
I was about to say, don't make me play my freaking rustic hospitality here.
Because you're a local hero.
Yeah, she shows you in. Shows you over to the chairs. They don't have many. They don't have enough.
I'll stand. I'll be polite.
Kanan will also stand.
I will sit.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you will.
She says,
Icto's a simple man with simple needs.
Yeah.
"Would you like any water or anything to drink?"
Do you have alcohol?
Uh,
No, I don't.
the water will
Oh, dude,
be
I'm fine.
just fine. I would appreciate the water, thank you.
I will be fine as he is.
Gotta stay hydrated.
All right, well,
I wanted to stay hydrated, but
she goes and gets the water. And as she is getting the water, you can hear her from the other room. "So, what's this all about?"
Well, we were conducting a bit of an investigation regarding the disappearance of the guards at the guardhouse. We were wondering, did you possibly notice anything strange happening before they left?
No, not really. And she comes back
Not,
into the room. So she's not having to yell and you're not having to yell anymore. It's like the tensions between the guards and the guard captain were getting a little worse, but that's about it.
did you notice any fighting going on in public?
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
Did they say anything strange during such arguments?
Mm,
Do you
insults
even know what they
mostly.
were fighting about?
Oh, well, there's been rumors. I don't know the validity of them, but it was said that one of the soldiers was making moves on the captain's wife in another town.
The captain's wife lives in another town?
Yes, he was originally on a rotation where they come in, they do a little time, and then they switch out every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
But he had been stuck here for a while.
I see. All right. Um, we kind of did some snooping around the guardhouse and we found something quite interesting. Now, I have to ask you a bit of a personal question. What is the symbol, the red symbol outside of your house? What does that stand for exactly?
There's a red symbol outside of my house?
You don't know it?
No. It might be one of the children with the crayons.
insight check.
Go for it.
Shit.
Yes!
Seems on
You
the up
want-
and up.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
Well,
To real quick question: how high up were the symbols? Were they just like low to the ground?
They are usually low to the ground, yes. But they are
So they would
often
be a height.
they are often behind something.
So they would be the perfect height for children to write, is what you're saying,
Or somebody leaning down.
or somebody crouching down. So it could be a child. All right, that's fair. Okay. Are you familiar with witchcraft sigils of any kind? Do you know anything from your town's history?
No, not really. I only moved in about 6, 7 years ago.
Hmm. I see. Well, trying to think of any more questions. You guys got anything?
Uh, well, have you seen anything else odd around town other than, the previously mentioned oddness?
Yes, have you seen anything like out of the ordinary, perhaps?
No, not really.
Are you a follower of the church?
Yes.
You follow the church.
Well, yes.
So you're so you're trying so you're under the belief that the cleric has been spreading, like, about, not
How's
believing in the witchcraft.
how's he been acting?
I haven't really seen any
Also heard.
difference.
But yeah, are you also against witchcraft? Whatever you saying.
Well, not necessarily.
Okay.
I do believe that there is one right way, and that other people are free to choose the wrong way if they wish.
I mean, there's like a lot of other churches, gods, people. Yeah, all right, never mind. I don't want to
It's like, I don't want to get into a religious debate.
get no. But I mean, I think she's giving us quite a bit there, which is that.
I think so. I guess she's not aware that she even has a symbol outside of her house, so obviously she didn't write it. Somebody else is writing the symbols on these houses. And
Yeah.
it could be those children. Maybe we should find one of those kids and ask
Maybe
them
we should
something.
go to one of the houses. We should probably take this outside. I think we've answered all our questions.
One
Yes.
moment. One moment. Kanan, again, with your passive perception. It's high, so that's why I remember it. You notice a statue on the edge of the fireplace. What's that called? The banister?
Yes.
Mantle, I believe.
Mantle.
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 Banister is like more of a railing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. On the mantle of the fireplace, you notice a small statuette. Of
A
a.
statuette.
Go ahead.
Oh, continue. I was gonna say resembling the one in the church, I assume.
Close. This one is not made of copper. It's just a wooden statuette, but this one seems to be of a male holding a scepter with strange wedges sticking out of the tip of it.
I am going to run religion on that.
All right. You had advantage, too.
Nice.
That is a carving of Dietro, the god of pain.
Ooh.
God of pain, you say? I will ask her how she came by this statue, expressing interest in it as if it were an interesting art piece.
Oh, well, it was actually a gift.
A gift? From whom?
From our very own cleric.
Indeed.
You seem quite interested in it. Are you interested in the way?
Well, quite certainly I have never seen a statue of such remarkable design before. Certainly not in so humble a village. I am intrigued, shall we say.
Well, if you decide you want to follow, perhaps you could get one of your very own.
Is there a special
Perhaps.
meaning to this statue?
Are you actually asking that to the lady or to Kanan?
To either.
I will allow the lady to answer.
It is just the god that we worship.
And who
Seems
is
a
this
bit
god, may
different
I
from the
ask?
one of the church.
You can see her face begin to twitch a little bit before she says, "Is there anything else?"
I was just curious who the god is. I practice a lot of god worshipping. I was just curious.
You can see a vein start to form in the middle of her forehead. And her
Well,
gaze almost unfocuses on you.
Um,
well, maybe we got
I
more in
guess
our welcome here. We should
he's
leave
a
you be.
personal god to you. I'm sorry if I offended.
Well, I wasn't really done.
Okay.
Okay, keep going.
She just focuses back on you and says, "This is the god of the true way of the world."
I mean, she's not wrong at that.
Well, okay.
I shall ask her if she minds if I borrow the statue.
Oh, no, please, go ahead.
I shall do just that.
All right, I think we should step out of here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, have a
Very
good
nice talking to you,
fucking
man.
day,
Thank you.
man. Also, the water that still she hadn't drank it. I grab it and chug it. And be like, thanks.
I shall also thank her for her hospitality and depart with the rest.
All right.
And then addressing Incomparator, I will say, maybe you were onto something about abducting the priest.
I knew it. Oh, I knew my plan would come to fruition eventually. I knew you'd come around, guys. Is the proof?
We don't exactly have proof yet. We
But
don't
there's
even know what the heck the
reason.
statue is.
Actually, of interesting note, I do. The statue depicts
do?
the visage of the god Pain.
You see
Who?
that? It's not even
Out
the
of
guy
character
he
here. Fill
worships.
me in.
Out of
The
character?
guy-
Out of character. Fill me in. Who is this? Like, what's the significance of this?
You don't have to be out of character.
I mean,
I'm just curious.
I don't know the direct significance, but the implications are pretty sinister in this case. I would
Yeah.
assume that there's some sort of cult being run here, likely headed or at least certainly led by the local priest. It would also explain why the idol of the god light of light rather was tarnished and not polished as it would in a church with so many worshippers it would be.
Now remind me again, what was the difference between this statue and the one in the church?
The one in the church is female, for
Ah.
one. And the
And also made of bronze or brass rather.
and the small statue is wooden for one, and male and is holding a scepter with spiraling wedges on the end of it.
That settles it. The plan has changed. We bombed the church.
I mean, let's not go straight to domestic terrorism, but maybe we have a private word with the priest somewhere discreet.
I mean, I was saying, but my friend earlier was the Catholic priest, and then all this stuff came up, kind of justifying it. I'm just putting this out there for maybe later I get to blow up the church.
I'm just saying you're probably not wrong. A priest of a presumably evil god impersonating another faith certainly would seem to be suspect.
But so does that mean the people with the blue symbols might be like the witches instead?
Or at the very least, not members of the cult. Or alternatively, the sigils could be a misdirect entirely.
Could.
Either way, it would seem our next course of action is to head to the church.
Rightio.
Well, just as you're, walking and talking, a familiar face comes across you. It's the chief!
Hey.
And he says, well, what a coincidence to run into you here.
Ah, hello there.
Still adventuring?
Yep,
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Also, because our manners were bad earlier, mine are always bad, but I'm gonna blame them. We
No.
didn't get your actual name, sir.
Oh,
Chief.
well, it's been a while since anyone's actually asked my name. Sometimes I think I forget it. But, I am Cyan.
Cyan?
Yes. You can actually notice that his clothing matches the color of his name.
Ah.
Huh.
I see, like, go for a theme.
And you think back, there's been a theme for a lot of people. The blacksmith, you never asked his name either, but he wore clothes of a similar nature, but where cyan color is, it was a gray.
I'm guessing his name is Gray.
Who?
The blacksmith.
No, his name is Cole.
Oh,
Ah,
that's not really gray. It's black. Okay.
It's Cole
Anyway,
Gray.
well, then I wasn't wrong.
Yes, exactly. And you saw a number of the farmers in the tavern also wearing similar clothing with different shades of green.
Ah. We never asked him about the symbols, right?
Nope.
No. Well, then I'd say I'm a little more trusting of him. I'll ask him, should we show him the symbols? I asked the group.
Oh, you already asked him about the symbols.
What? What?
In the tavern.
Oh, I said, did we ask him about the symbols? And you said no.
I didn't say no.
You did say no.
When?
Just now.
No, just now he said that we already asked him about the symbols.
Oh, that's why I thought he said no. We didn't ask him about the symbol. That's what I heard. All right, okay, we've asked him.
You asked him about the red symbol, and he said he didn't know. Said that it might have been a game but from the children. but you also know that he is a witch, and that actually confirms that that was a lie.
Okay. So then I point at him and say, we know what the symbols mean.
Oh?
Yeah. Fuck.
Which symbols?
Put the papers, these symbols.
Yes. Stay devils.
Oh, I'm just such an old man. I don't know what those are.
I got a lot of stuff, a lot of little anger in me. I'm ready to let out. All right. We
Little
know
anger.
it'll be big anger real quick.
Oh, well, if there's anything I don't want to do, it is make you angry. How about I offer, in way of peacekeeping, dinner tonight? My wife makes wonderful alphabet soup.
I don't know what to say to that.
Alphabet.
Well, just say yes then.
You know what?
Presumably we
Sure.
can make it. Mind you, there is one thing I would like to ask you, Chief. I will produce the idol and inquire if he recognizes it.
I can't say that I do recognize it,
Interesting.
but I am just an old man who knows nothing about this world.
I'm gonna climb, like, grab his shirt, bring him down to me, like, I think there's a conspiracy. It has to do with the church.
Yeah, I
I
think
got
he's
some
one of the good
ideas.
guys.
He will allow you to grab his shirt and pull him down.
I'm not trying to bring him to his knees, just to my level.
Just a whisper.
Yeah. And I want to know if you're on the up and up.
There are some things that you can't fight. Some things you can only stall.
Well, I got a lot of explosives.
Well, maybe you can fight. But, once again, I'm just an old man. Sometimes an old
Well,
man can only stall. Until
well, I'm.
perhaps 3 strangers come into town.
Ah. Well, I'm technically an elder myself, but I'm ready to go. So let's go have some alphabet soup. I let him go.
Well, it's not really dinner time yet. But we can
Well,
sit around, play with some crayons.
I'd rather have a drink.
I've got that.
All right.
All right, so you want to go to his place early and wait for dinner time, or do you want to continue on doing stuff around the town?
So leave that up to them. I kind of jumped the gun.
Yeah, you really could have messed some things up if this guy wasn't the right kind of guy. And technically, you still don't even know if he is.
No.
Though I have a strong suspicion that he is one of the good guys.
So yeah, what are your opinions on the situation?
What are your opinions?
I am
Your-
getting so invested in this. Like, where is this going?
All right, should we go and ask some more questions, or should we just hang out at the chief's place?
Well, see, part of me is curious. Like, what did he say about the statue? He said he didn't really recognize it.
Yeah, but he also said that about the runes, so
So he
I'm
doesn't
thinking-
really know anything.
I think he's probably playing down for the public's sake. If we follow him back to his place, he might be more candid in private.
You're right. Maybe we should just skip to his place then. What do
Besides,
y'all
it's
think?
bound to make a better impression than abducting the priest. Even if the priest is the head of an evil cult,
Yes,
possibly.
better idea than abducting the priests.
I mean, I still think it's pretty good.
I know you do. To the chief's house.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, before that, I'm going to offer a restroom break because I have to pee.
Woohoo!
I guess somebody else did.
So, yeah, I guess I'll take the opportunity.
So we will be at the chief's house when we get back.
Yep.
All right, I'm already back.
Welcome back, Wheat.
Hi, back.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back, Luna.
I think I am in the mood for some mac and cheese. That sounds scrumdiddlyumptious.
Here.
Welcome back.
It is scrumdiddlyumptious.
Welcome back, JJ.
So, how is blah, 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 blah. Don't it fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. Randy, how is Randy enjoying listening in?
He's not.
Oh, I thought he was. He never came in. You're right.
No, I still need to invite him. I got everybody's opinion first.
Oh. You haven't invited him?
No. So the
Look for
next time.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I thought he was gonna sit in this time.
No.
Oh, you wanted to ask for next time. Okay. My bad. I feel dumb.
Good.
Shut up! Say good, dick.
That's me.
Don't make don't feel make you feel like an asshole.
Anyway. You follow Cyan back to his house. And on it, you actually see a blue sigil.
Huh.
I knew
Well, that's
it.
weird.
Blue ones are for the witches.
We don't know that yet.
I'm sticking to it.
But he invites you inside.
So what do we see when we go inside?
Well, firstly, you see a very cozy living space with a fire going. And his wife in the background doing some household chores. And two little chitlins running around. He says, well, take a seat. Come on in. You can sit anywhere. Got pillows. If you'd like to sit on the floor, you can just put it on the floor. We've also got a couple of chairs. And a couch.
I'll sit on the couch.
Kanan, being ascetic, will take his seat on the floor.
I'll just browse around his knickknacks.
And as he walks in, lets you guys in. Honey, I hope you don't mind. I've asked some people over for dinner tonight. Would you mind making us your alphabet soup? Oh, it's so delicious. Oh, I love it so much. She kind of gives him a... You invited people over without asking me?
I hope we're not crying.
She looks over at you and is like, oh, no, don't you worry your little head. And she grabs him by the ear and says, it's his fault. Come with me. She drags him into the other room, and you can hear some very loud whispering from her. Like, it's basically a yell whisper.
Why would you invite people into my house without my permission?
You just want me to cook for 7 people this time instead of 4?
Oh, why don't we just feed the entire village?
Yeah, a little bit of that. And you can hear him normally. He's speaking. It's like, sweetie baby. She's like, don't sweetie baby me. So as he's getting chewed out in the other room, the two chitlins run over to you. You notice that one of them has blue in his outfit, and the other has yellow. Almost the color of the gold in Stelago's face cracks. What? You got stony, cracked gold skin.
I do. Wasn't judging.
They're just kind of looking at you. What? And the boy with the blue comes up and says, Are you guys knights?
Close. I'm a paladin.
Never heard of them.
We're cooler.
Just saying that you're cooler, he's like, what?
Yeah, way cooler than knights.
I mean, she's not wrong. Paladins are objectively cooler than knights.
And the little girl with the gold walks over to Kanan, says, "You're pretty."
Why, thank you, young one. You're not bad looking yourself.
Grandma's teaching me how to braid.
Oh, quite a useful skill, braiding.
I can do it with flowers now. Is this too realistic of a child conversation?
You know, I was just startled by my screen changing suddenly. Someone was checking out my bio.
There's not enough questions.
But yes, Kanan will respond. How interesting. Would you care to show me?
Her eyes light up and she just runs over and grabs some flowers. And she sets to work on this very unskillful flower crown.
Oh, now I see what the problem is, but I can't figure out what the fuck. Okay. Weird.
Meanwhile, the one in blue is looking at the cooler than night paladin and then glances over at Icto.
He's picking his nose.
Ah!
It's getting deep in there.
And Stella goes just like, for real, dude?
What? And he just flicks that. No, he wipes it on Stella's armor.
You ew!
What?
I give you a
They're
swift
gonna put it
kick
on
in
their
the rear.
We gotta put it on their furniture.
You're getting less cool. I don't think a knight would have took that.
I'm gonna fucking just.
Pretty sure paladins have access to prestidigitation.
Grandpa, she said the F word.
A paladin
It
with
was
such a
Icto.
filthy mouth.
I just deliver a swift bop on the top of his head.
Yeah. You should have cut so much. For a children present.
I swear when we leave here. Anyway, when's dinner ready?
Well, Cyan kind of glides out of the other room with some lipstick on his face. And he just kind of, he's not like actually gliding like magical or anything. He's just got that step to him. And
Well, it seems like that ended well.
he swoops over and scoops up the little boy. And he says, "Well, I've smoothed things over with my wife.
It sure is that. It sure looks like it.
You are now welcome to dinner."
Well, I hope we're not being too encroaching.
"Oh, it's fine. It's fine." And he looks at the boy and he's like, "It's fine, isn't it?" He's like, "Yeah." See? He says so. He's got the final say.
Yeah.
And then he just tosses him on the couch. And then he walks over to the little girl, picks her up as she's in the middle of braiding that flower crown, swings her around and says, "And how's my little Goldie today?" She said, "Fine." And then he holds her out to Kanan, and she puts the flower crown on your head, and then he tosses her over onto the couch, and she just laughs. And he says, "Now, Grandpa wants to speak with these people, if you don't mind." And they both jump off the couch and say, "Kay!" and run away.
I shall give her a gift as she departs. Taking the flower crown, I shall cast light on it and place it on her head.
And she goes, because it's so sparkly.
He's so
Yeah,
sparkly.
that sort of move's always a big hit with the kids.
And then she kicks her brother in the butt and says, "Now I'm the king!" And then runs up the stairs.
Ah,
And now I'm the king.
And then he chases after her. He's like, "Well, knights are cooler than kings."
And paladins are cooler than knights. Remember that.
They're also full of boogers.
I'm going to kill you.
Now Cyan
Anyway.
sits down. He's like, "So what should we talk about?"
Well, as the elder, clearly, of this village, you must have seen a lot of things in your time.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
stop the papers with the markings. You know what these mean, right?
Get short, sweet, and to the point, eh, Icto?
Yep.
Oh,
Just cut to the
yes,
chase.
I think I know what these mean.
We
You
already
think or
told
you
you
do?
did.
It reminds me of a story.
Oh,
How long is this story?
About 20 years.
we don't got that kind of time.
Well, I really think we should wait until we get food before we talk about important matters.
Okay.
So I remember there was this one time. I thought that I had saw the sun peeking through a crack in the ceiling, but it wasn't. It was just it was a glowing moss that had absorbed the light from the drift globe in this town. And so I actually climbed up there, and I was like, this moss would probably make a good tea. And it did. So, I was the one who invented glowing tea. Did you know
don't
that?
Never
say.
heard of it.
fascinating. Love a spot of tea myself.
Yes, and if you actually drink enough of it, a little bit too much in my opinion, it will actually make your sweat glow.
Takes more than your sweat glow.
Oh yeah, what else does it make glow?
Urine?
Indeed.
Cool. Glowing black light. Have your pee come out as this big black light yellow stream, just woo. Your sweat comes out as big neon blue.
Quite vulgar for
Your
a lady,
blood-
isn't she?
Blood
Oh,
comes
yeah.
out neon
Very
red.
filthy.
I'm saying this out of character, you fuckers.
But anyway,
She passed in front of your kid earlier, I'm telling you.
Shut up.
No manners.
um.
Are we in second grade? I
He
remember
kind of
it.
acts like he is.
Um,
He seems like a very fun grandpa. Anyway, let me regale you with the story of how we decided to grow ginger here. So about 1,000, maybe 1,500 years ago, about 500 years after the fall of Tretobog. Oh, and he just goes on.
and as time elapses, it just cuts to the team just steadily getting more and more and more tired to the point where we're almost falling asleep.
Igdo is passed out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Stella though has her head in her
He's an
hand,
elf. He does
nodding
not
off.
need to sleep.
So yeah, you learn a bunch of useless information that has nothing to do with the current situation you're asking about.
And it was 500 years after the fall of Chertabog, and then 50 years after that, we had the first ginger. Oh, it was a day of celebration. We actually had a whole festival for the one piece of ginger that we actually managed to crop.
I would like to point
We
out
couldn't
that
all celebrate.
all of this is fanfic because it's not being said by the DM. But yes, he goes on a Gothry tangent about ginger and its uses.
Ginger soup, ginger pie, ginger this, like frickin' Bubba Gump shrimp.
Ginger tea. You know, it helps with period cramps.
You don't
It
say.
does, in fact.
Yes.
Well, now I gotta try that.
Me
I didn't know
mammo
that.
drinks ginger tea whenever she's on the rag, and helps her to get through the pain in the day.
I
It
gotta try
reduces
that.
swelling, so it would help with any sort of inflammation.
I want to try that. I don't mind ginger as long as it's not too strong.
Yeah. That's a real fun fact. Not a made up D&D fun fact.
Sweet.
And if you make it strong and add lots of sugar, it's even better.
But anyway, as time goes on, it is now time for food.
Good.
And dinner is served.
Good.
The alphabets.
So what makes this alphabet soup so special, if I may ask?
Oh, well, sometimes you might glean messages. Like,
Really?
like one time I had some that said, ooh.
Like SpaghettiOs.
Also stole that joke.
I know you did, and I love it because I didn't see it coming, even though I should have. My spaghetti, my alphabet soup says, "Ooh, Peter, those are spaghettios."
But, he says, but we shall eat in just a moment. You see, the children have already eaten a little earlier. They go to bed a little, right before we have dinner. And then he says, Bebes! Come here. Mwah, mwah. You know it's time to go to bed? And they're like, yeah. They're like, no sulking. Gotta go to bed. Got a big day tomorrow. And he's like, fine. I want to stay up. Stay up and hang out with Grandpa.
Plenty of time for that when you're older.
Oh, let's not put it that way. Just think of all the fun you'll have tomorrow. You'll be too tired if you stay up. Don't you remember? Remember, we were gonna go to see the blacksmith. Maybe look at armors for whenever you're older. And the boy is already sold. He's going to bed.
That kid really wants to be a knight, huh?
I think he just likes armor. What about you? We were gonna go get you some candy made out of honey.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
And the girl, she's sold. She's going to bed.
I'd be sold for honey candy.
And they run over to Grandma, give her hugs on the leg, and then immediately run away from her, running back up the stairs. And she kind of mutters, I'd like to be the one to spoil them every now and then. He says, honey, you can spoil them whenever you want. It's not a competition. She's passing out the bowls. And you can hear a church bell ringing in the distance. And he says, please sit.
Righty.
And you're all seated just before the final bell rings. And he kind of gestures over the table. Now, what should we talk about while we have our meal here? I think some more ginger facts would be nice to talk about.
How about this actual town? Talk about facts of this.
Yes, exactly. You see, ginger is kind of a wonderful medicine, a wonderful herb, a root. It's got so many nice uses. Kanan, you notice that as he's speaking about this stuff that obviously no one really cares about, the letters in your soup begin to swirl around.
Holy shit, he wasn't lying.
I mean, it is a clever way to avoid surveillance.
And I know that you notice, but I don't know the others' passives. So
11.
Mine's a 10.
okay, so you guys would have to roll.
Okay.
That
Mm.
we got worse
Right.
than our passives.
Kanan,
So a 10 and an 11.
you're able to notice this, and you can actually, if you want, gesture to the others.
I was actually specifically going to gesture to the others to indicate their balls.
Huh? What? Oh.
And as he's droning on about Ginger and the history of the town and his grandpappy and his pappy before him, the message in the soup reads, "There are ears everywhere.
Kanan will nod but not say anything.
I'll just uncomfortably.
Asked about Ginger.
Oh yes, there was once an alien infestation.
Aliens.
There was these strange saucers that were all over the place. They dropped off an elephant man. He said his name was Belafonte.
Belafonte.
I don't know if you remember, that's another deep cut. That's a callback to the first campaign where
Yeah.
Gothry said that his brother was abducted by aliens.
My brother Belafonte was actually abducted by aliens.
Godfrey Belafonte. But anyway, as he's making these wide gestures with his hands, the letters in the soup continue to change and swirl around. He's only got so much room, so he can't do really long messages or anything.
I take very small sips of the broth to act natural as I watch the soup.
But the next one says, "You will see soon." And as he continues with his story, it whirls again and says, "We will have a visitor." And again, it says, "Do not react."
More nods from Kanan.
I hum in deliciousness of appreciation of the soup.
I just start acting like I'm pouring salt. No, I do pour salt. Just pouring salt in the soup.
Well, that might disrupt the next message a little bit. But the next one,
Your next message says, "There's already enough salt in here. Stop."
the next one says, "Act like there is nothing there."
Okay. I don't say that out loud, but that's making me wonder what's about to happen. Oh, this is getting deep.
And you can hear as some loud footsteps are coming closer to the door.
Oh God, it's happening now.
And as those footsteps grow nearer, the door opens. And in lumbers a large being, clad in armor, slumping as it walks, with spikes driven through the armor and into its body. Holding a spike in its left hand and dragging a clawed hammer behind him against the floor. Now I'm gonna need performance checks if you want to heed Cyan's warning. And you notice that he is still going on about aliens and Ginger.
Honestly, I'm surprised the performance and not deception, but it doesn't matter either way because I have 0 in both of them. Let's roll with it.
Let's go. I got the same amount for both. Good luck, guys.
I'm at a
Oh,
negative
yeah.
here. Mine says act here.
Cause
Act
there's
here?
salt.
My suit because I poured salt.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But you did get the other one. Don't worry. Don't worry. He might have a bad perception. Or insight.
What color is Icto's hair again?
It's like
It is.
a messy orange.
Yeah. Orange hair
Stelago
that
will just
sticks up like wild flames.
Stelago will just go. Speaking of gingers, we have one sitting right here next to us.
And I'm proud of it.
Why can't you be sweet like Ginger? Why do you have to always be frickin' just overpowering?
That's how Ginger is.
Well, as this creature slowly lumbers around the house, it gets close to each and every one of you with his face. Until he makes it to Icto. He gets close, and I'm gonna allow you one more chance,
One more performance.
but he's hovering around you.
Alright.
I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter if it's performance or deception. You get to choose.
And they got the same thing on them. -1, so who cares?
Oh, one better.
Well,
Can I give the help option?
Describe how you would help, and then I will decide.
I take a noodle from my bowl and I fling it on the spoon towards Icto.
All right. I would say yes. You were able to help. You divert his attention before his gaze glances at the thing next to him.
so you're flinging letters at me, huh?
Yeah, I thought I'd teach you how to spell properly. Might improve your vocabulary.
Can't be doing that. I can do that too.
You wouldn't do that to this poor lady's nice cooking, would you? I say as I
just-
take a nice, deliberate bite of my soup.
And Cyan's wife actually does pipe up and say, "Yes, stop it! What kind of manners are those?"
I'm so very sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, you know what? I've always told her she needs to class it up a little bit more.
Well, this help that she gave you does indeed get you through the moment, as in a quick jerk of the head, the spiked creature looks toward the door almost as if it heard something, and slumps around the table without disturbing anything and out the front door, closing it behind him with the claw of his hammer. and the soup in front of you swirls once again. And says, "This is what we're up against."
Mm-hmm.
And then it changes to, there are 4 more.
Kanan will frown in concern but not say anything.
Icto will smile
Any
in excitement.
questions you might have, possibly conveyed through ginger facts? Or some kind of code that you might be able to?
Give me a second. Give me a second. Just give me a moment. I will politely ask, have there ever been any like corrupt gingers, like really nasty ones that sprouted, like maybe had disease on them or something?
Well, no, we're pretty clean and good at farming what we our namesake, you know?
Would anybody ever want to taint the gingers?
Oh, yes, probably. Don't know what for. Could be for their own crop. Don't know what they'd be growing. But it sure is a pain.
How long does a ginger usually last?
In what way?
How can they yeah. How they last, before they
Perish?
perish? Before they're not good anymore. Before should get a new ginger.
It depends on if they even notice. But it could come in about a month.
Is there any particular reason why somebody wouldn't like ginger here?
Not that I can think of. Probably doesn't even have anything to do with like or dislike.
I don't know about you guys, but I am learning a lot about ginger today.
Indeed, some quite fascinating facts.
I mean, why should I be surprised? We're in a town called Ginger. Your history is so vast, sir. Tell me, would you say that you're prospering more today than you ever have in your vast history?
Well, I'd say it was a little easier 16 years ago.
It was easier 16 years ago. Why so?
Well, although it didn't necessarily affect us as much because we stopped using our witchcraft.
You stopped?
Yes, after the incident in the patch. Which was
Have we heard about this incident?
Yes, you have. Some guy named Tolston. It's the
Oh, that one.
mage
Yeah.
slaying blade. Had to do a large extermination of witches.
Of witches. Yeah. Now I remember. Gotcha. From the pumpkin patch. Right. Okay.
But
So what happened to all the witches after such an event? Where did they all go?
well, the ones from the patch, I've heard there was only one survivor. Uh, the mage slaying blade took her. Don't really know what happened to her after that. Rumor has it, though, that he either ate her alive, or married her.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go out on a limb here and say it was the latter.
I think it was the marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, but he is kind of a monster to us.
I
So
mean, I'm going with the eating alive. He did kill a lot of you.
Well, out of character, we know, but in character, I'll just be like, well, I hope it was not the eating part. I'm
I think
kind of
he ate
more
her
of a
alive.
fan of the
It seems like a
marriage
statement I
part.
would make too. You know, if I was trying to cull a people.
Hmm. What about the witches that used to be here in Ginger?
well, some of them moved on to different towns after our culture had kind of been turned on its head and we were unable to use our magic as freely. They didn't feel the same sense of camaraderie. So some of them left to find different towns, settle other places where they could kind of get away from the memories, I guess. You'd have to ask them their personal stories, but
So there are not any witches left here in town?
well, there's a number of them. You might have noticed we kind of wear the same outfits.
Oh.
And we all have a similar naming scheme. We tend to be named after colors.
Yeah, I could guess that. Well, after learning your name and such.
It tends to be the color of our soul, I guess you could say.
So,
We tend to let off a little bit of magical light whenever we are using anything. The more experienced can tone it down so other people can't see it. It's kind of a personal thing to us. We don't. It's like flashing your willy.
Flashing your
Yeah.
willy.
And then his wife smacks him on the arm. She likes it. He's like, stop!
so y'all's dinners around here. How long do they usually last? I mean, does
Oh,
everyone?
you can finish up.
Well, I don't know about you, but now the messages have stopped swirling. I start slurping. And I'm just like, this is delicious. You were not kidding.
Take a sip of mine. It's a little bit salty.
Gee, I wonder whose fault that is, says Kanan, continuing to spoon his soup into his mouth with the same stately pace as before.
Well, you know where's a good place for us to hunker down for the night?
Well, there's an inn. It is attached to the tavern. I would offer you a room here, but we don't actually have any. Other than that, you could always try the church. They tend to let people sleep there for free, in case you need it.
Well, we hadn't meant to follow up on the church, so maybe we'll consider staying there. Thank you for the information.
Yeah.
Yes, you have been an amazing help.
Oh, I hope so. It's always good to listen to your elders sometimes, although I am just an old man. I probably don't know anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah. As long as you keep the place running, right?
Oh, but I do have something else that you might enjoy. And he
Yeah?
walks over. Where? Ah, yeah, yes. And he taps it 2 times and hands you a book as he wipes over the cover of it. He says, maybe you could give that a read. And it says 100 uses for ginger.
Stella goes just like, thank you. We might just actually put this to good use. And I handed the cane and I'm like, here you go.
I don't want to keep you all night. I could probably talk about our crops and everything for hours. And I gotta go
I'm
with
sure you could.
with my grandson in the morning and go look at some armors. I'll fit it for him whenever he's 18, you know.
Yeah, it's never too early to have a little bit of armor. Get used to the weight.
Yeah, maybe get him a training sword or something. Gotta go get some honey candies too. Such a big day
Honey
tomorrow.
candy. That sounds so good.
All right, well, we'll leave you be then. I'll go to the inn.
All right. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. I really hope so.
Perhaps.
If we are fortunate.
Yes.
Let us all hope that we meet again, yes. Soon.
Well, have a good night. And he
You as well.
closes the door slowly. And
All right.
you are now left in the dim light of the drift globe, signifying that it is nighttime hours. Keeping things just barely alight, just enough to adjust your eyes to the darkness and keep going. Except for those with dark vision. And what would you like to do now? Actually, I have something called night music.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna press play. I don't remember what it sounds like.
Anything would be better than the silence.
Happy Haunted Nightcore.
Happy Haunts and Nightcore.
But anyway, what would you like to do now?
Go to that inn.
I guess we'll have to find a place to sleep.
I mean, he did suggest the church, and you should probably take a look at that book on the way.
Yeah, why not? See if
Yes,
the
why
church
not
takes
stick
us
to the
in.
church?
Especially, why would he suggest the church kind of if he knows what's going on around here.
Yeah.
Presumably because investigating the church at night is a good idea.
We can do my plan I said earlier. The first one, not the second.
We're
Or
not
maybe
gonna
the second.
kidnap him
Ugh.
yet.
So boring.
It's yet. Hold your horses. We still don't have enough information. Although that was very intriguing. The story of Ginger, that is. That was a very intriguing experience. Wouldn't you say?
I think it was alright.
And certainly we can find a bunk at the church for the night.
Yes, let us go ask for some sanctuary.
Alright.
As you begin down the road, you hear a meow off to the side. As a cat,
America?
Kidding.
as a cat kind of walks up to you and begins to brush up against your leg. And looks up at you with almost glowing eyes. It's like the light, the dim light of the drift globe is bouncing off of them just perfect to make them glow this cyan color.
Well, obviously we're not going to acknowledge that this is likely our buddy Cyan, but Kanan will stoop down and give the cat some scratches.
Stella will go, "Aw, what a cute cat."
Well, it also very well might not be cyan.
Well, it might not be hidden, but it might be familiar.
I mean, he is a witch.
Witches do have familiars. Story checks out.
So, as you pick up the kitty, give scritches, it places a paw on the book that you are holding. Almost as if like a not so hasty kind of thing. Before jumping out of your grasp. Walking a couple feet and meowing back to you.
I shall follow the cat.
Yeah. Right behind you.
Stella will be like, "Hey, Candy, can I see that book real quick?"
You're the one who has the book.
No,
I
she
thought I
gave
gave
it
it
to
to
you.
you.
Oh, did. I shall hand it back to Steligo then.
Which I shall take gratefully. I'll be like, "Thanks." Who's this book written by, anyway? And I'm just gonna look for the author.
It says cyan.
Ah,
And that's how you also learn that witches tend to only have one name. They don't have last names. At least, unless they marry someone who does have a last name.
I mean, if they're named after colors, they don't really need last names. There are like a billion colors to choose from.
Yeah.
well, as Stella follows behind, she's just gonna idly be flipping pages.
Well, as you are flipping pages, you don't see anything other than actual uses for Ginger.
I mean, the cat did indicate that we shouldn't read the book yet, so
I knew there was so many uses for ginger. Other than eating.
Yeah, you can make a beer.
Ginger beer, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ginger ale.
Yeah, yeah.
also good for hexing.
It's good as a medicinal poultice. Just a bunch of cool stuff. But as the cat wanders through, you also don't have to follow it if you don't want to. Just saying. I don't want you to feel like you're being forced and railroaded.
Oh no, I'm definitely following the cat.
I like a railroad.
I don't think we're anywhere near ready for whatever's at the church.
Well, it brings you back to the guardhouse.
So there was something we missed.
Well, also, the guardhouse is loaded at the wazoo with protective sigils.
Exactly. Not to mention they're gone, so.
Certainly would make a great place to base out of.
Well, as it leads you through the doorway that you have previously opened, Steligo, you can feel in your palm that the book is beginning to heat up.
Oh. Okay.
Other than that, it doesn't seem to be doing anything.
All right. Now, from what we've learned, all these different sigils mean something different. One is for protection against something that you can see. One is for just to keep someone from seeing something, but not protection from it. And then there are the sigils that are absolute protection. If they had those sigils here, but they're all gone, let's do another look through now that we know what we know.
We should in particular look for sigils that are mirrored
Yes.
directly
too.
opposite each other.
Yeah, so let's go look at the sigils again and see if we can find them mirrored.
All right.
Other than the black one of the bed.
All right. So I guess we'll check behind or under the bunks for the regular guards.
That specific one is not under the regular guards' bunks.
Was it behind it?
Nope.
No, it was under the captain's bed in his room.
So where was that other one?
That one is in the captain's quarters. He has a room separate from all the other ones.
Okay, so he had the black sigil.
Yes. The other ones
So
had
he
blue ones.
Okay. Which doesn't protect, it just keeps them from seeing.
Well, which in itself could be a form of protection. After all, if they can't see the danger there, they can't acknowledge it, meaning it has no reason to interact with them.
True, because we did not see anything earlier. Let's see.
But as you are going through the guardhouse, the cat does seem to want to lead you to Duval's quarters.
Oh, so we do have to go back to the guard captain's quarters.
Alrighty.
Well, I was thinking it might be a good idea to scratch out one of the two black rooms just to reactivate the protection there.
Fair point. We don't want to end up like the others.
And as you get closer to that room, the book is getting hotter. Not hot enough to burn you or harm you, but you can tell a definite difference.
I just wordlessly grabbed Kanan's hand and put it on the book. So that he can feel the heat coming off of it.
The cover seems to be fading. And it's harder to make out the 100 uses for ginger.
I take your hand back off of it.
And as you reach the room for the captain's quarters, the book is beginning to glow a very faint color. Bet you could guess what color that is.
Blue.
Yeah.
Purple.
It's a very
Bright cyan.
it's a very calming cyan is what I would say. It's not bright. It's not going to be shining through the windows.
Why can't it be bursting through the windows like in Harry Potter?
And the cover is now blank. And the cat meows, sitting in place.
Huh. I will open the book again.
All right. As you open the book, you see on the back cover a yellow sigil.
Oh. And what does this one look like?
It's kind of hard to describe a shape. But this one is completely different from all of the other ones that you've seen. And it's more flowy and open instead of being closed. It almost...
I think the meaning of the sigil is obvious.
Yeah, you might be able to glean the meaning. But it's almost wispy, if I was to give it an adjective. And on the other page, you read the words, property of Duval.
Oh.
God, Captain.
And you may remember that you were looking for a journal earlier, but didn't find anything.
I was. I start scanning through the pages.
There you go.
Ah!
I'll have to put
Alright.
you see them if you want it.
Who would like to read?
Aloud or just in general? Because
Aloud to help all the rest of the group follow along.
Technically, you have the
Like we're
book.
in class. Fine, I'll read.
you do have the best voice for it.
Let me take a quick sip of drink. Okay. Day 1. The people here are different, but I can't quite put my finger on it. They seem too calm, unnervingly so. The symbols I've found are disturbing, yet no one acknowledges them, as if they're invisible to everyone but me. There's something strange about these people. A creeping sense of wrongness gnaws at the back of my mind. I'm also holding this book out so everybody can read along with me. I'm hearing whispers now on day 6, faint but persistent. I thought I saw something, and then people started to speak differently. A number of people speak of pain as if it's a virtue, something to be revered. I try to shake it off, but the idea lingers, festering in my thoughts. I should report this, but some part of me wants to understand more. Why do they believe this? What truth am I missing? Day 9. Spoke with the cleric today. He has a way with words, an unsettling charisma that pulls at the edge of reason. He speaks of pain as a path to something greater, a means to an end that I can't quite grasp. It's odd, but I can't deny the intrigue. Could he be right? Is there power in suffering? Day 15. The teachings are starting to make sense. Pain is everywhere, unavoidable and relentless. If we embrace it, perhaps we can rise above it, transcend it. The nails in my armor, they dig in as I move, and somehow it feels right, like a reminder of something profound. Am I losing my mind? Or am I finally seeing clearly? Day 23. The nails are a blessing. Each one are a sacred token of the truth I am beginning to understand. Every prick of pain is a lesson, a reminder of what really matters. I've added more to my armor, each one placed with care and reverence. The whispers say I'm ready for more, that I'm on the cusp of enlightenment. Perhaps they're right. I need to know more, to go deeper. Day 26. I've seen the truth, and it's more beautiful than I've ever imagined. Pain is the only reality, the only thing that truly exists. Everything else is an illusion, a distraction from the path we must walk. The nails aren't just in my armor anymore. They're in my flesh, my soul, a constant, glorious reminder of the truth that I now live. Every breath I take is a hymn of suffering, and it is the most beautiful sound I've ever heard. Day 30. I've been reborn. My purpose now is clear and sharp as the nails themselves. My path is set, my devotion unwavering. The nails are my salvation, and I will bring this truth to others, whether they want it or not. The pain is endless, and so is my devotion. I am the harbinger of suffering, the bringer of truth. Those without pain cannot truly know pleasure.
Well,
Okay. Well, I think he took a trip to Cuckoo Land, don't you?
yeah, he sure did. He's trying to take people with him.
Yep,
He's definitely not dead.
definitely not.
No, we saw him earlier.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
yeah. All right.
We had dinner with him.
Can you hear the smoke?
It's
You hear the gears?
hit her in the back. Come on, Stella. The friggin'
It's like, wait,
steamer
what?
hobbled its way into the building.
The guy with the nails in his armor and the big hulking black creature.
Oh,
At least you're
yeah,
strong,
that's.
right?
Shut up! Well, he definitely ain't dead. Yep. Okay, nope. The pieces are clicking now. Shut up.
Uh-huh.
right. Is there any more in this book, or is that all?
No, that's all.
All right.
And you also
Oh.
can possibly remember that whenever you asked how long it takes to corrupt a piece of ginger, he said about a month.
Yep. Took 30 days.
So what we're dealing with is some sort of indoctrination, then.
Is this some kind of Hellraiser shit?
I'll give you a... Maybe I took a little inspiration. But I put my own spin on it.
I see.
I will also give you an attempt to insight something as well from this. Insight. I don't know if that's the correct, or maybe insight is the correct term.
Did I do it? I clicked it. Oh, there it goes.
Man. Icto, you are really only good at very specific things, aren't you?
Today he
Alright,
is,
I'm
yeah.
here to
He
cause
just don't
some
give a
damage,
fuck.
Okay.
He don't give a fuck today.
My plan is still kidnapping.
That's all he wants to do is kidnap.
He really wants to kidnap a priest. He doesn't. He's not particularly partial on who.
I mean, I guess I can't blame him now after reading the book and hearing that the priest is involved.
Having said that, a frontal assault probably not the wisest idea.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that that church is going to be protected at the wazoo.
We also have to be careful. He said that there were ears everywhere.
He said there were 4 of those things, right?
4 more, I think he said. So 5 total.
5. Okay.
But I can't think of any reason you might have insight, or not insight, advantage.
Nope.
I mean, unless you want to spend your inspiration.
Well,
I'll spend my inspiration on a reroll.
Not on advantage.
Oh. Yeah, I'll take the advantage.
All right.
I thought I had to reroll period, but nope, I'll take the advantage.
No, you can choose to re-roll if you want to.
If I had really low numbers, I would have.
Yeah, because sometimes you'll have low numbers on both of them.
Yeah. But no, I'll take the high number. Which
But,
means inspiration. Goodbye.
In Duval's journal, you actually noticed that he says he saw something, or he thought he saw something, and then people started to speak differently. And then he began hearing whispers and such.
oh, those creatures look at you and make you start believing.
Which explains the use of the red rooms.
So he saw the symbols, but nobody else acknowledged them. That's why that one lady that we talked to was like, "There's a symbol on my house."
Yeah.
Independently noticed the symbols must be an early sign of the indoctrination.
The red sigils are to protect those that have already seen.
Yeah, so that they don't get indoctrinated by the creatures in question, which presumably, without the protection of the sigil, merely seeing them would affect you psychologically.
Which, by her saying that even though she wasn't able to completely tell you who it is she worships, it might
She had seen it.
seem that the red ones are just a deterrent.
So they're not fully grasped under the worship. So these really are protection symbols that somebody is trying to protect from whatever these creatures are.
Sometimes all you can do is stall.
So they're delaying it.
Ah, callback. That's what Cyan said to
Not
to
just trying
Icto
to
earlier.
get those people not to become like that, I guess. Like those creatures.
And the blue ones conceal the evil from those who have not seen it.
So that people won't see them, period, to be corrupted. And the black ones are just overall protections, period. So somehow Duval's got mirrored because somebody wanted to corrupt him.
Had to be the priest, right?
Yes, because the priest is the only one here. It says, I spoke with the cleric today. He has a way with words, unsettling charisma that pulls at the edge of reason, speaks of pain as a path to something greater. And then from then on, that's all he could talk about was the pain and the nails. The nails. Like, what kind of nails are we talking? Like regular nails?
I think he was putting nails into his body.
I guess.
The spikes that were in his body seemed to be more like railroad spikes.
Eesh.
So, you know, it's getting bigger and bigger nails and such.
So he was increasing the level of pain that he was feeling so that he could reach some kind of greater threshold.
Oh, now he wants to put nails in other people.
Well, he wants them to experience the same pleasure, of course. According to this. All right. Well, did you notice how the thing came after the church bell rang?
Oh, yeah.
I think that kind of confirms it, don't you?
That
Oh,
we should
yeah.
kidnap the priest?
Yeah.
Okay, let's quietly break in to his home.
I think we need to definitely do more checking in around the church. But maybe we can find some way of protecting ourselves. Like, I wonder if there's some kind of sigil that we can put on us to protect us.
I mean, those black sigils certainly seem like the go-to.
So, yeah,
I wonder if we can write them on our armor
armor
somewhere.
Let's say, can I look at the cat? You think that'd be good?
I don't know how the cat would.
Oh, you can nod his head, or
Flicker its tail twice for yes, once for no.
blink once for yes, twice for no.
He blinks twice.
Ugh.
So it would not work.
Yeah. So you're asking if putting on armor
It-
would work.
It walks over to the sigil and taps it.
It's just for just one place.
Putting on buildings and stuff, I assume. What?
I see. So it doesn't work on people.
Well, I think it's saying that it works on people. It just can't move.
Oh, it just can't move. Okay. Well, it can't work on physical people moving. I get you.
Yeah.
I got it. All right. Well, it was a suggestion. All right. We'll have to think of something else.
Also, these protections might be more metaphysical than physical protection, if that makes sense.
Well, maybe there's something in the Book of Ginger that'll, like, maybe give us some kind of ward.
The Book of Ginger was the journal we just read, so
Yeah. I
Well,
don't think
it's
gonna do that.
still full of 100 uses for ginger.
No, it's not.
Honestly,
Not while you're in that
was.
room.
it was,
Yeah, I was gonna say not until the illusion rune reactivates.
Well, we're done reading Duval's journal for now, so I'll
Time check.
step out of the room.
Oh, yeah, I gotta be at work at 10.
Okay. So, sorry
Probably a
to
good
say,
place to cut. Yeah,
you learned a lot.
We did.
I
Deep.
think so. Yeah.
I think that was a very progressive session.
Fruitful.
Very fruitful. For 2.5 hours.
But all right. Since that will be it. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. And I hope you all have a good night. And until next time, on Dungeons and WheatTons.
Outro.